Hey, what's up, guys? Today, I wanted to address the topic of how people make us feel. Personally, I am a firm believer that as adults, no one can make you feel bad unless you were already feeling bad deep inside. And the same thing goes for feeling good. Even when people make us feel good, to me, it echoes with a deep void. Let's jump right in. Let's start by feeling bad. Most of the time we say that the person makes me feel like a piece of shit, right? But if you look closer to that feeling, you trying to be more precise, it usually funnels down to you doubting yourself, doubting your choices, or feeling that there's something wrong with you, or that you did something wrong, you're doing something wrong, or you're a bad person, right? To me, the way to look at it is asking yourself, are you? I know it's triggering, but if you are able to get past your defense mechanism, the one that keeps looping through justifications and defensiveness and stuff like that, you might realize that underneath that justification, you believe what the person is making you feel. If the person makes you feel doubt, maybe it's because you are already doubting yourself. You have doubts. If you feel like you're doing something wrong, if the person gives you the impression that you're doing something wrong, it's maybe because somewhere on the layers, you think that you are doing something wrong, right? Let me give you an example to prove my point. Let's say that you know how to read, and someone comes up to you and say, you don't know how to read. Tell me, how do you feel? Do you start doubting the fact that you know how to read? No. Do you feel bad if that person tells you that? The only thing that might trigger you is that the person is trying to hurt you, but you won't doubt the fact that you know how to read. Let's say that you're wearing an outfit that you really love. You find yourself so beautiful in that outfit. You love the way you look, what you are projecting with that outfit. And then someone comes to you and tells you, oh, I don't like your outfit. Does it bother you? Think about it. Does it really bother you? No, because you are certain of your outfit. I have a question for you. Has someone ever made you doubt yourself, make you feel bad in your area of expertise, if you have one? No, because you know what you know and you know what you don't know. You have no doubt. For those of you who have high self-worth, let's say that you're chasing a big dream and then someone comes up to you and say, oh, that's not for you. What do you say? You go, why wouldn't I? Of course I deserve it. Of course I can get it. What are you talking about? You see what I mean? It's like, if you don't have that self-doubt yourself, if you are not doubting your self-worth, your value, your self-esteem, what you know about yourself, no one can come up and make you doubt that. Maybe a little for a fraction of a second, but not more than that. So this is what led me to believe that when you are certain of something, no one can make you doubt that thing. You might doubt it for a second, but you reflect, you look at yourself, and no, the certainty comes back right away. You don't believe it because it's true. It's a fundamental truth about yourself. You believe it because at some point you were led to believe that it's true. Maybe through bullying, mocking, being criticized, judged constantly. At some point you start doubting yourself. You start unconsciously telling yourself that maybe what they're saying is true, right? These situations keep repeating so many times that you start believing that it's true. Not intentionally, but little by little, it got imprinted in your nervous system. Well, sometimes maybe you are doing something wrong or supposedly wrong. Maybe you are expected to act differently. You are expected to do something differently. But if you act the way you do, there's a reason for that. And if you take the time to look at it, you might realize that your action is justified, or let's say triggered, by the pain you are protecting yourself from. So in this case, you can pay attention to both sides, which is, first of all, the accusations, the thing that you are supposedly doing wrong. That's the first part. And the second part is the person's action, the thing that the other person does that makes you react. And in this case, it's more about observing each party's contribution in the conflict. First, you own yours and you take responsibility for your actions. And the second part, you take the other person accountable for their part. And by doing so, you find the right position to either set a boundary if necessary, or to shift your mindset around it. What I mean by that, the shift would be something like, oh, okay, if the person is making me feel this way, it's not because she's trying to be mean or trying to hurt me. It's maybe because this is how I feel about myself. And now I can go to the next step. If you are able to get through the feeling, the belief, the doubt, by accepting for a moment that this is how you perceive yourself, you'll find underneath that layer of emotion and belief your true self. What I mean by that, meaning that there's nothing missing from your person. You have been whole the whole time, that you don't have to live up to other people's expectations of you. You can just be yourself the way you are. You don't have to be super intelligent. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be softer or obedient only so you can be more malleable. You don't have to force yourself into being humble if you have a high esteem of yourself. I'm not talking about being cocky or being pretentious, as to me, these are extremes. And to my opinion, the excess of something is making up for a lack of that same thing. So when you're facing someone making you feel bad, let's say like self-doubt, well, what's the problem about doubting? I mean, who said we were supposed to be certain of everything that we say, do, feel, or whatever? Doubt is part of life. Doubt is the path of exploration. Doubt is the path toward certainty. So there's nothing wrong about doubting yourself. We have the right to doubt our choices, whatever. So be okay with that. Own your doubt. Or be more assertive. If in reality you are certain of yourself, well, that's an opportunity to assert yourself. Let's say that the person makes you feel like there's something wrong with you, you shouldn't be this way, or whatever. Accept yourself the way you are. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, first of all. And even if there's something supposedly wrong, you know what? Own it. It's yours. You can either own it, change it, or save it for later. Nobody's perfect. Why should you? If that person makes you feel that you're doing something wrong, maybe that's an opportunity for you to either ground yourself and be okay with what you're doing, or to grow. Change it if you want to. There's no problem with that. And the last thing is, let's say that maybe you did something bad. That's possible, okay? We all make mistakes. So maybe it's time for you to recognize it, face it, and repent. No shame, no drama. It's okay. It's okay. People make mistakes. That doesn't make you less. Now let's dive into when people makes us feel good, especially when we fear losing that thing or that person. Let me ask you something. If you say that person makes me feel loved, weren't you loved already? Or with this person I feel respected, weren't you respected before? I feel prioritized, aren't you a priority already? You see where I'm going with it? Basically, if that person makes you feel that good, maybe it's because you're lacking that thing and you're not giving it to yourself. You know where I'm going with it. So I won't go deeper with this topic because it is well known, well discussed, well taught. So basically what's underneath are usually self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, self-respect, being chosen, being a priority, everything that you want. Basically, you need to give it to yourself first, and you won't need it from anyone else. Your cups will be full, filled by yourself. I know it won't happen magically like that. It's a journey, unless it is true for you. Unless you know how to make it happen magically. And if it is, please let us know, because we would like to know your magic. It might be useful. Building self-worth, reaching self-love, all these things, it's a journey. It takes time. Be gentle with yourself, have compassion for yourself, take your time, and don't worry, you'll get there. And if you want something to assist you, you can check out my new concept that I've called Reflective Audio. You'll find a playlist called that name. These are videos where I share with you my thought process when I go through shadow work in the form of a meditative video where I repeat the same truth over and over again on different forms, using different words from different perspectives as a way to get through your barriers. And also, if you want more reflections and insights or nuggets that I find through my own shadow work that I'm not very comfortable sharing here on YouTube, you can always subscribe to my letters. I call it that because I don't send newsletters just to send newsletters. I send you emails when insights come. So in the meantime, happy healing. Bye.